Hello and welcome back to another video on the Respect and another edition of NXT Out of 10. Zilla Fatty's electric arrival last week ushered in a new era for the brand's main event scene. Cruz Montana has recently looked to force his way into. So yeah, there's a lot going on with Grayson Waller in the mix as well. So yeah, a lot happening as well. You've got the women's division, scores settled between Kendall Gray and Ren Sinclair battling Callie Armstrong. Lots going on. Let's get straight into it. And we started things off with after being attacked last week by the debuting Zilla Fatty. Cruz Montana stating that he was putting the newcomer on notice. Montana was fired up, demanding a fight with Fatty before being told by the stagehand that he hadn't arrived yet. He ended up getting a AAA World Cruiserweight Champion Ray Phoenix instead, who told Montana he was there to find his next challenger and he has his back in his war with Fatty. Montana acknowledged their history in past promotions, including AEW, and said he was proud of Phoenix for representing culture and said he'd see Fatty in the parking lot. So yeah, an intriguing start to the show. As we then moved on to the AAA World Cruiserweight and Championship #1 contender Fatal 4-Way, featuring EK Prosper, Tristan Angels, Romero Moreno and La Parker. As has been the case with most Fatal 4-Ways in NXT, this was all action from start to finish with all great time to shine. Parker's high-flying Arsenal was a particular highlight before the commercial break. Moreno leapt to the outside in an impressive fashion before being won up by Parker's moonsault. Angels connected with emphatic Insiguri to Moreno coming from the break. A Spanish fly from Parker on the top rope was followed by a frog splash from Prosper. Prosper ultimately won with a backflip moonsault to Moreno, earning him a shot at Ray Phoenix Cruiserweight title on next Tuesday's episode. We then got Natty versus Thea Hale. Thea Hale controlled offense early. When she went for her finisher down the stretch, Natty avoided it and nearly stole the win with a crucifix pin. After an exchange of strikes, Hale locked in the Kimura on Natty. Once Natty escaped, she secured the sharpshooter, forcing Hale to tap out. Post-match, Natty put Hale back in the sharpshooter while Jada Parker was forced to watch while being held back by Lyons and Petrovich. Great heel work and, good win for Natty. I'm over 5 out of 10. As we then moved on to the Speed Championship, Lexis King and Lucian Price. A rematch from last week's Pro where Price knocked off King in a non-title match. Due to Speed Championship being online, this match had a 5-minute time limit and King spent the early games attempting to avoid Price ducking out of the ring and running down the clock. Price eventually stopped him in his tracks with a thunderous chop to the chest. King levelled him with a DDT after enduring a series of stuns from Price. King received an assist from Connors and Dempsey on the outside to hit his finisher and retained with seconds to spare. Post-match, Birthright went after Price before Neiman made the save. Yeah, I don't know, I'm going 4 out of 10. These speed matches just really aren't for me. They're not long enough. I mean, an intriguing angle post-match, rough see how it goes, but yeah, not much really going on here. Similar to Cruz earlier, Grayson Waller wasn't happy with the #1 contenders match last week being interrupted. The Aussie wasted no time in targeting Fatu in this promo and taking shots at his Samoan family. Although Waller led to the claim to being the uncrowned #1 contender, Tony D'Angelo emerged to tell him his opportunity before Cruz showed up from the parking lot to say the same and tell Waller that they had unfinished business. GM Robert Stone made it clear Fatu's not officially signed a contract and D'Angelo will defend the championship against Waller and Montana in a triple threat at Heatwave. So yeah, it'd be intriguing to see where Fatu fits in there. As we then moved on to Kendall Gray and Ren Sinclair versus Armstrong and Jordan. They were on the same page, Gray and Sinclair, from the get-go with their matching ring gear and seamless double-team manoeuvres. Gray and Alexander Armstrong in particular brought the best out of each other as they did during their unforgettable battle over the Evolve Women's Championship last year. Sinclair and Jordan Stone tagged their match and traded blows. Some questionable officiating led to Booker T calling the referee the Herb Dean of NXT, which was funny. But yeah, a powerbomb from Armstrong to Sinclair followed her a Callie connection, running shoulder block and securing her the victory, and what was a pretty fun match. For me, the right outcome as well. Well paced. I'm going to give it 6 out of 10 from me. We then got the North American Championship #1 contenders match between Shalila Hill and Jackson Drake, and Shalila dominated in the first few minutes through an assist from Vanity Project, giving Drake the advantage going into the break. It was much more competitive in the second half, with both guys showing a strong sense of urgency. Michael Lockwood distracting the referee on the apron allowed Vanity Project to take advantage, only for the ref to realise what was going on and eject them. Just as Hill was ascending from the top right to put Drake away, Narako emerged from underneath the ring to spray red mist in Hill's face. Drake subsequently connected with a 450 splash and pinned Hill for the free count. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Yeah, like I say, a pretty fun match. Shalila Hill's best bout, and it'd be interesting to see where that whole storyline goes. Robert Stone then introduced Zilla Fatu and he was super over with the crowd right out of the gate. Fatu entered some great new music and the crowd chanted his name as he made his way to the ring. With only a few minutes left, he didn't talk for long, but he did leave a lasting impression with his charisma. Put pen to paper, leading to Stone making the announcement that Fatu had been added to the championship match at Heatwave. Tony D, Grace Waller and Cruz attempted to enter security but held back. The scene being set for the fatal four-way, and Fatu is suddenly odds-on favourite to take home the gold. He looked great here, and I think a really fun segment. I like the way we're going with it. And overall, NXT this week gets a 6 out of 10 from me. It's been a long time since there was much interest surrounding the world title, and I think it really did heat it up on this show. The show is also crucial, building towards Heatwave in other ways. One more episode to go, but a solid episode of NXT, and some segments slightly rushed, but on the whole, it plants the seeds for the future, and it always helps to have matches with stakes, and we had a lot of that too. So on the whole, I was pretty impressed with the show, and I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10.
That's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.